Alright, so for our first video, we're going to be taking a look at this Erie 8-inch skillet that was found in the barn by my cousin, made between 1905 and 1907, so it's an old skillet and it's hung in pretty well. If we look at the inside, the surface, nice and smooth, so we're not going to really have to do any sanding later on, but we do have rust buildup here and some rust around the edges. Taking a look at our side, definitely have a lot of built-up gunk here, so we want to remove all of that. And then same thing with the bottom. On the outside edges, it feels pretty rough, so I'm not sure if that's built-up gunk or if that's actual pitting, because I look down here and it kind of looks like some pitting, and there might not be much that we're going to be able to do with that. So we're going to end up putting this in a self-cleaning oven and trying to get all of this mess off there first. And once we take it out, we'll kind of reassess it and see what we need to do, whether we need to use some vinegar on it afterwards or whether we can move straight into seasoning it. So all we're going to do, put it in this oven for about 3 hours on the self-clean cycle, and we'll take a look when it comes out. Alright, so the self-cleaning cycle is over on the oven. Gonna open it, and don't be surprised when you look in there and the pan is probably gonna look worse than when we started. So let's open this up and give it a look. If you could zoom in on that, you can see all that gunk got burned off, and it's just kind of sticking to the pan right now. And so our next step is we're gonna head over to the sink with the pan, and just using a SOS pad or any kind of steel wool pad, we're going to try to clean this thing up a little bit. Just be careful, make sure your pan's cool enough so it doesn't produce too much steam. Get some better light in here so we can see this. You can already see stuff just falling off. So let's go to work with it. We'll use a Dawn dish soap. This is where you're really going to have to use your elbow grease to get in there and make sure everything is off each part. get the top as well. Handle's still a mess here, so it'll take a couple minutes to work on that. I don't know if you can see it with the water, but there's still some rust in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put this back in the oven for a couple minutes and just let it dry out at about 300 degrees. And then turn off the oven, and then we'll work on removing some of that rust tomorrow with vinegar. And the last thing I'm using are these Scott Blue shop towels. You just want to make sure you dry the whole thing, because it will start to immediately rust since all the seasoning's gone on it. So we're trying to get all the water out with this, and that's why we're throwing it back in the oven, to make sure it is completely dry and we don't get more rust. All right, so that's us removing the gunk. Definitely feels a lot smoother on the walls now than it did before. Bottom's still nice and smooth. Got rid of some of that stuff. Going around the bottom, most of the stuff is gone. There isn't really a lot of pitting like I thought there might be. So that looks pretty good too for such an old skillet. All right, so that's our skillet. Again, you can see the rust in there, so we'll take care of that tomorrow and remove all that and get it back down to black. Again, in the oven, just making sure it is bone dry. And that is how we clean the cast iron pan.